In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys about the best way to start with every class and general tips to help you guys get them W's with every single class in the game. So if you guys enjoyed this video, or if this video helps you out, hit that like button, subscribe, comment below what your favorite class in Dead Rails is, and let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so with the Alamo, this one's fairly basic. This is what we're going to be starting off with. With the Alamo, the absolute best way to start and honestly just play the game in general is going to be armoring your train exactly like this. So you want to put one armor plate on the left side of your train, one directly behind it like this with enough of a gap to get between, and then you want to put one on the right side of the train. Now doing this prevents your team from dying to outlaws, which is very, very important. Also with the barbed wires, thank you to the people in the comments. You guys want to be putting this underneath your plates right here, because if you do this, then the zombies won't be able to get through your plate, or outlaws, and they will die to the barbed wire. So you guys just want to be putting these behind your barbed wire like this, so they won't be able to get into your train and they will die from the barbed wire. This is like pretty much the best way to start with the Alamo, and generally playing with the Alamo after this is just, you're just playing classless after this with a helmet. But this is a pretty good start just because your train is fully armored and you're ready. Now with High Roller, it's honestly fairly simple to explain this. Basically, always stay inside during lightning storms or be near a lightning rod, because your chance of getting struck by lightning is insanely high, and of course you don't want to be a detriment to your team, or if you're solo, you don't want to die, obviously. As High Roller, you want to be the one always picking up the money backs because you get more money from it, and you will be the one supplying the team with items. You know, just coal, revolver, ammo, and stuff like that. The best start for High Roller is to take the gold bar, buy a revolver, buy a single ammo, and spend the other two on coal. That is the best start you can get with this class. Unless you have teammates. If you have teammates, they could be the ones buying coal, and you could spend all of your money on revolver ammo. But yeah, High Roller's fairly simple. Always be the one picking up the money back, supply your team with whatever they need, and use this start if you guys are solo. Alright guys, so for Miner, Miner's also a fairly simple one to start off with. Miner, basically, since you start with 2 coal, you can spend all of your money on revolver and ammo. Because since you start with 2 coal, that gets you enough to get to a building where you can get more fuel. Or you could buy more coal. I wouldn't recommend doing that just because getting a gun at the start is extremely important. So basically at the start of a game, you want to put 2 coal into there. You want to walk over here, and then you want to buy a revolver and some ammo. So boom, and then you want to buy 2 ammo. That's the best solo start for Miner. Even in squads, I would recommend doing this. Just because, like, they can also buy coal or whatever. And you have a gun to clear first town easily. It's comparable to a Cowboy start, which is absolutely amazing. But yeah, Miner's also fairly simple. Also, at nighttime, you will be the one doing the banks in town and stuff like that. If you actually are raiding a town at night, you will be the one doing it because your headlamp allows you to see at night. Just make sure not to die or you will lose it. Next up is going to be the Doctor. Now, the Doctor also has a very, very simple start where I think that you should honestly sell all of your items and this gold bar to get an insane start. Probably the best start in the entire game, in my opinion. So boom, 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 boom. So with all of this, if you sell all of your items, this is just if you're solo, by the way. If you're in a team, High Roller will be picking up all of these. Like, if you're in a team and you do this and you don't have a High Roller, you can immediately go buy a rifle and ammo. A rifle and ammo, literally instant first town clear, and you win the game off of that. Doctor is one of the only classes in the game that can actually do that, which is why a lot of people like to run Doctor. Not only that, but your passive allows you to revive people without bandages, so you don't have to spend money on bandages anymore. If you're solo, however, you will have to buy a revolver, 2 ammo, and spend the rest on coal to actually get further in the game. Just remember that solo, you know, solo Doctor, you're mainly doing it for the pistol and ammo start, just because the actual revive mechanic is literally useless when you're playing solo. As Conductor, you kind of have a wonky start because most of the time you're playing this in a team. If you're in an actual team, what I recommend doing is having your friends drop you like a weapon item. But if you're playing Conductor solo, it is also perfectly fine. Since you start with 2 coal, just like Miner, you can go ahead and just get your money. You have 70 money as like at the start of the game. So what you could do is go over here. You could do this and buy 2 revolver ammo so you won't die as Conductor. And since you actually are significantly faster than normal train, 2 coal can get you to basically to the next outpost. So even if you don't stop for town, even though I recommend doing it, you can actually make it to the next outpost. Now keep in mind, Conductor has half HP, so you have to play really, really passively. Do not let anyone ever sneak up on you. Always check your corners. And pretty much, like, if you're playing in a team, someone needs to drop you a weapon. Like, you need a weapon, otherwise you're literally going to die. Just keep that in mind when playing Conductor. Have your friend drop you a weapon. If you're playing solo, then you will have to buy a revolver and ammo, literally just not to die. Next up is going to be Cowboy. This one's also an extremely simple start. You start with a revolver, 2 ammo, and a horse saddle. Now, horse is actually extremely important, in my opinion. It's a lot better than a lot of people realize. It enables Arsonist, that class. It allows them to basically full clear a town. If you're playing in a team, give the horse to the Arsonist and let them full clear the town by baiting all the zombies, just immediately killing all of them. If you're playing solo, since you start with a revolver and 2 ammo, you could buy a single ammo if you want. What I do recommend doing is buying 3 coal instead, because there will be a lot of times where you don't find coal in a shop. I'd recommend putting 2 in, seeing if you find town. If you don't find town, then you could use all 3 coal to get to that point. Cowboy, basically, the start is very simple. It's honestly probably the most simple start in the game, because you just buy coal with your money, and you start with all of the items you actually need to basically beat the game. You have a horse, you have a revolver and 2 ammo, allows you to full clear first town. Extremely good start. And if you're in a team, if you have an Arsonist on your team, horse will pretty much allow them to full clear the entire town. Next up is going to be Ironclad. I'm not even going to bother going into a game to show you this. You should probably already know this. This class is slower. Your goal in a team is to soak up as much damage as possible for your teammates, while your teammates actually kill the mobs that are on top of you. If for any reason at all, you're trying to play this class solo, you need to be extremely careful. Make sure to glitch zombies even more than classless, just because if you get ganged up on, you will die. And to the people saying, oh, it's not fair, you're not giving Ironclad a ranged weapon, you're playing a class that's based on defense and you're wanting to snipe people? Bruh. Now, for the class known as None, basically you don't have a class, you're new to this game, I recommend getting zombies stuck on either walls or ledges like this, so you can have an easy time killing them. As you guys can see, I'm not able to get hit, and this is basically how you're going to be clearing towns up until you actually get a weapon. You want to get a ranged weapon as soon as possible, so I recommend just glitching zombies like this. You can also glitch them on walls. At the start of town, you just want to be baiting zombies in one by one. You could also actually kite a little bit with this, like this, and they won't be able to hit you. And if you're getting rushed by zombies, you could just hop back on this and still clear them. Now, this is going to take a while clearing town, so I recommend, if it's nighttime, you could barricade yourself inside of a room with an item. I'll try and show you guys that right now. Let's see if I can get a zombie aggroed on me. All right, there we go. You could take an item like this and put it on the door so that zombies are not able to actually get in here. Or you could just continuously get them glitched on the side. It's just that this will help at nighttime. Getting the barrel right here next to the door and to block the door. Yeah, there we go. But obviously, getting them glitched on walls, barricading yourself inside houses is basically how you're going to be playing this. Just because this class, obviously, you don't really have anything going for you, so you need to get a ranged weapon ASAP to actually win the game. After you get a ranged weapon, it's pretty easy peasy as long as you don't get full of yourself. Next up is going to be Priest. Now, Priest is also a very simple start. You basically do the same thing you do as classless, just because, obviously, you can't sell these items. In case you're wondering, they're unsellable. You're not allowed to do it with Priest anymore. With Holy Water, you want to group up zombies as much as you can, very similar to Arsonist, and actually hit them with this. You want to group them up as much as you can, hit them with this, just so you can kill groups of zombies very easily. It gives you a significant edge over top of classless, just because you can kill groups of zombies in case you get into a sticky situation. Also, since you're immune to lightning, you could actually do it at your feet, and you are perfectly safe. You could just stand here and it will kill zombies for you. Other than that, though, I recommend playing this class the same as classless. Remember, you do have 2 crucifixes. I would save them for reloading the electrocutioner. Basically, put it right next to the crucifix, have a zombie walk over it, and it'll reload your weapon for you. It's pretty easy to do, in all honesty, so I would just recommend doing that. Only use these for reloading an executioner. Unless you get to a sticky situation, you could easily just, like, as you're walking backwards, you're about to die, just drop a crucifix at their feet and it will kill the zombie. Now, with the Arsonist class, I actually recommend heavily that you get a horse as soon as possible. But in case you can't get a horse, you can also just group zombies up like this. And because you're Arsonist, you can kill them extremely quickly. It is actually a very nice class, just because you can't actually get zombies grouped up and kill them nearly immediately with Molotovs. Just because you do double damage with Molotovs. Like you guys can see right now, neither of these guys are fast zombies. So I could just walk here, boom, Molotov at my feet, and all of the zombies will almost die from this. I do recommend playing it like this if you don't have a horse. Basically, stay near this point and just Molotov most of them and use your shovel on the rest of them. Very, very simple class. You guys will also want to be stocking up on Molotovs as much as you possibly can, just because obviously, you know, Molotovs are kind of your specialty. Like, you're going to be using Molotovs a lot. So I do recommend stocking up on Molotovs if you're playing Arsonist. Get a horse as soon as possible so you can get zombies to follow you in giant groups, and then you can just Molotov them to kill them. Otherwise, I do recommend playing it the same as classless if you don't have either of those things. Like, if you're out of Molotovs, obviously you're classless. Horse allows you to group up zombies very, very effectively. And yeah, not much else to Arsonist here. Now, as a zombie, until you get a weapon, you need to play extremely, extremely passively. Basically, you want to play it the exact same as classless, but I would think of it as you can never heal. So I would play it like classless, but you can never heal. After you actually get a gun, your radius for triggering enemies is significantly, significantly lower than it would be for any other class. So because of this, it allows you to sneak around towns after you get a gun and easily take out enemies without alerting any of them. Like you guys can see, I'm fairly close to these enemies right now, but they're not getting alerted. So it allows you to get easy headshots on them, unless you suck at aiming like me. Like, after you get a gun, I'm gonna be honest, zombies pretty decent, just because you can sneak around towns and easily get kills, just because you will not get alerted. Like, you will not get hoarded in towns as long as you're not playing with friends. And I do recommend after you kill some zombies, or just kill enemies in general, I recommend keeping a few in your sack so in case you get low, you can easily drop all of them out and just quickly eat them to regain all of your HP back. Just make sure not to do this when you're against stuff like werewolves or anything like that, because they will still catch up to you and kill you. Alright guys, so with Vampire, obviously you want to try and stay out of the sunlight as much as possible. Now, if you can't manage to do this, you can hit enemies to heal faster than the sunlight does damage. Also, keep in mind that you have massive movement speed. You have massive, massive movement speed. So you can run faster than literally anything in the game. Nothing can catch you with Vampire just because its movement speed is so big. If you have trouble staying out of the sunlight, I'll show you guys here in a second what you guys can do. But basically, you just want to be kiting zombies like this with Vampire. If you can't manage to stay out of the sunlight, you could take something like a newspaper here and actually use it to block the sunlight. So you guys can see I'm trying to go to the train right here. It's just kind of annoying to do this just because you have to constantly look. But it is a way to actually block sunlight very, very effectively and allows you to get your heals back with the actual Vampire knife. It's also worth mentioning, Vampire does get a melee damage boost, so you can 3-shot zombies with melees, which is very, very nice. And since you can run faster than anything in the game, you can easily clear stuff like Castle without ever even fighting an enemy. You could literally just run around them, and they won't be able to hit you at all. You can even use a corpse, I'm pretty sure, to block sunlight. Yeah. So you can literally use anything. I do recommend using something like a newspaper because it is flat. It's easier to do this with. And I would recommend always, always, always fight zombies so you guys can heal up to max HP. I also recommend you should always carry, when you get to a certain point in the game, always carry a few snake oils on you. In case you get low, you could pop one. It makes you even faster than the train. And it also heals you in sunlight. You will heal even though you're taking damage. Last but not least is the Survivalist. Now, the Survivalist, people have commented on me using the Game Pass. In case you guys don't have a Game Pass, you can sell the Tomahawk. You get 88 money, right? So since you get 88 money, that allows you to buy, boom, you buy this and you buy this. Now, you guys may be asking, oh, that doesn't give you enough coal to get to the first town. And yes, you are correct. It does not give you enough coal to get to the first town. Fortunately for you guys, I'd also recommend buying another revolver ammo. I'm not even going to bother doing it, but you should buy 2 revolver ammo. Fortunately for you guys, 1 coal is in fact enough to get to the first house, which almost always has fuel in it. And this is only if you're playing solo, by the way. If you're playing in teams, you will always have enough coal, so you don't have to worry about that. I would always sell your Tomahawk and buy a revolver and 2 ammo, and then buy a coal with your last 20. Oh, look, right there. There's some outlaws. Wow, that would be such a big challenge. That's such a big challenge, am I right, guys? That's a huge challenge. Oh, wait a minute. Survivalist does tons of damage. And wait a minute, I sold my Tomahawk for more ammo. Oh my gosh, look at this. And even if you want to spend the time to do this, you can even kill all the horses with your shovel. And this is just an example, by the way. There's usually always a house here instead of outlaws. You could just take the house, get the fuel from the house, and actually win off of that. This is pretty much the best way to start with Survivalist. Survivalist, let's be real here, it's absolutely broken. It is broken. You're going to be the one doing all of the damage pretty much, so you always want to have the electrocutioner. So you always want to have that weapon. You want to make sure you have a rifle and a shotgun, and you will be the one focusing the enemies. I do recommend if you're going against werewolves, you should probably take some damage. Like a little bit of damage against a werewolf will actually make you use way less ammo against it. Way less ammo. But yeah, Survivalist is pretty easy to play. That's how you start off with Survivalist to get revolver and ammo. You stop at the first house to get more fuel, and you keep doing that until you get to the first town, and then after that, the run is won. I mean, you won. You could use a normal revolver and one-shot people to the head. It is an absolutely insane class. And yeah, that's actually going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hope to see you next one, guys. By the way, for any of the classes I did not show a start with, it means it has a completely normal start. There's nothing special you can do about it. And if you keep dying at the end of the game, you should probably just play a little more safe. That's all I could say, because you should not be dying at the end of the game. Hope to see you next one, guys. Peace out.